This is Jeremy Wentworth-Stanley. I'm the fellow who has a hyphen in my name. The hyphen is silent, but I am anything but that. We're going to be taking a personal look at a question that, quite honestly, most people never ask themselves. And if you do put it in front of them, they tend to shrivel. Now, before we do that, let us introduce ourselves. I am Jeremy Wentworth-Stanley, the voice of Respectonomics, joined here with my co-host, Sarah Benton.
Good day.
Good day. We always have to be very careful what we say. Good morning, good afternoon. If you're in Australia, good evening.
Yes.
And the list goes on. The question today is, who am I? Who am I? And the reason we're looking at this is that in Respectonomics, we have a starting gate, which is a compass. And you hold the compass in your hand. And the first question you have to ask yourself is, who am I? And you ask yourself, who am I? Before you then go to the next question, which is, where have I been? Or where am I? And then, of course, leading to the ultimate question of, where am I going? So it's fairly, foundational to look at, who am I? And what I've noticed is when you put this in front of people, there's a shriveling. There's people saying, I don't want to answer that. So we're going to answer it for people because it's a very friendly, enjoyable discussion. And the first part is this. Everybody looks in the flipping mirror. You look in your mirror when you're, when I'm shaving. You look in the mirror when you're brushing your teeth usually. But you think of the number of times you look in the mirror. It is incredible. And it's very physical. I understand that. But the point of the matter is, if I am physically looking in the mirror, which we've all agreed we do, I can't remember. I think I did hear a number about the number of times we look. It's something like 30 or 40 times a day. You know, when you're driving your car, you look in your rear view mirror to see if, why you would, I don't know, but you do. Anyway, point of the story is, if you're looking at yourself physically, then it's axiomatic, it's logical that you would actually look at yourself internally. The mirror looks at you externally. We have mechanisms to look at ourselves internally. And I don't think we should be any stretch nervous about looking at ourselves internally, because the truth of the matter is we are very aware of who we are. We just don't actually ask the question. So we're asking the question, who am I? So we got through phase one of the physicality. My name is Jeremy. I am male. I have got dark hair. I've got a receding forehead and all of these other things. And I can walk, I can run, I've got 10 toes. I can talk about my body quite easily. When it comes to the mind, think about what does the mind do for you? And the finest example I can give us all is that of the computer. When you look at a computer, you see the hardware. That's the physicality that we've just talked about. And you look at your laptop or whatever it is, and you think it's elegant or not, or you think it's in the way, whatever you want to think about it. But there's the hardware, and you take good care of it. Then you come to the processing unit of your computer, and that's our mind. And all you're doing here is, if I say to you, what software do you have loaded on your computer? You'll say to me, oh, I've got Word, I've got this, and I've got that, I think you have quite a lot of programs, don't you?
Too many.
Yeah, well, I have. I hardly know how even to create them or put them in. So that's why we have a producer. It's rather sad, really. He has to come and put LinkedIn in for me.
That's not sad. That's we all have our fortes.
There you go.
We all have our elements and our strengths, right?
Exactly. Who am I? I'm not techie. I said to somebody once that I was a technological pterodactyl, and he said, well, no, he said pterodactyls were elegant. I even physically, I lost out on that one. But anyway, point of the matter is you're absolutely right. My software includes, I know my Latin and Greek. I know a bit about ancient civilization. I know a bit about economics and politics and so on. And this isn't a sort of a rollout of aren't I clever or anything like that.
Mhm.
It's literally to say, this is the software that's built within me.
Right.
And I think the answer I can give to all of my software is to understand two things. In a computer, we think it's very clever how one program can dovetail to another program, and you can switch from word to message in a nanosecond, yes?
Mhm.
Well, we do it even faster. The human brain is absolutely magnificent. It's actually, I think I'm right in saying it works at electric speed. So what I'm getting at is we have this incredible faculty built into each of us. So all I've done so far is to say, yeah, I've got a body. And now I've also said I've got a mind. I've now recognized that my software is different from yours and it
Mhm.
does different things. It processes differently at different speeds and so on. But there it is. I've got the software. I don't think that's too complicated for anybody to examine their software. I
No.
don't think anybody should shrivel at that. You don't shrivel when you look at your computer. So how?
No, I think it's funny though when you ask people, "Who am I?" They will often identify with, um, things that they do versus who
Mhm.
they are. Like, so for
Yeah.
example, it would be
Right.
hard to say, "Sarah, who are
Mm.
you?" "Well, I'm a mom."
Yeah.
"Okay, you're a mom, but who are you?"
Yeah.
"Well, I'm a" you could have been HR, I'm
Yeah.
realtor, I'm whatever.
Yeah.
No, that's what you do.
Those are
Who
your
are you?
labels.
So
Yeah.
it's actually, although it sounds like a really simple question, when
Uh,
you start to ask people initially,
mhm.
they list all the things of who they are to other
Yeah.
people,
Right.
or what their job title
Mhm.
is, or what they do for activities. It actually takes some effort and some kind of reprogramming for people to actually focus on who am
Yeah.
I?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know. And of course, I said earlier, it's fun when you actually start looking at who am I?
Mhm.
What you
Or it
just
can be
talked,
scary because people don't know how to identify it.
it's only scary because we do that horrible thing of looking at what we're bad at. We go to
Well,
our
I think it's
fears.
I the only reason I say I think it's scary is it's scary in that sometimes we spend so much time labeling ourselves with all these other
Yeah.
periphery things that we don't know how to articulate
Yeah. No,
necessarily into words.
no.
Who are we?
Well, my shtick is take a look at your software, and it is amazing. It's electric, it's spontaneous, it's reflexive, it's brilliant, and every single person has this incredible software built into them. And somewhere I read that in terms of our brain capacity, we only use, what is it, 10% or 9% of it? The capacity is incredible.
Right.
And when you have you ever had that thing when you're walking and you there's a smell in the air and you smell something and it takes you back 50 years or 40 years to some occasion you remember for that same smell. I mean, the stuff that we can do in our own internal software is incredible. So that's part one. We've looked at our physicality. Part two, we've now looked at our mind. And as you've rightly pointed out, moved away from the labels of I am a stockbroker, I'm an
Mhm.
electrician. Now move away from that. Those are just labels. And of course, one of the things we humanly do is always trying to give everything a label. Stop it.
Mm.
Be you. What's wrong with that? It's who you are.
Right.
And then thirdly, we get into the area of one's character, one's inner being, the spirit, the soul, whatever definition you care to give that. But whatever it is in fact integral to us. I picked up a little oil can in my workshop a day or two ago, and it's a little thing of oil, and it's called 3-in-1 oil.
Mm.
You may have seen it. Have you ever used 3-in-1 oil?
I have not used it, but I know of it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I looked at it. And I looked at the little label that went with it, and it says it lubricates, it keeps things clean, and it prevents things from rusting.
Mm.
And I thought to myself, how humanly accurate is that?
Mhm.
That when we are aware of ourselves, we do not rust. We are well lubricated. We are clean. we bring incredible values to the table. So I think it's totally consistent with our human entity to look at ourselves, and I'll use the word advisedly, but to be very proud of who we are. And if you want to move away from the proud, okay, I'm very blessed to be what I am and what I have. But I think who am I is a starting gate for all of us, because when you start on the who am I, then it's much easier to move to where am I. It is much easier then to go to where have I been, which candidly is where people can get upset. So, but you've now given yourself that inner fortitude to be able to look at it and admit to oneself where you've been. But here's the real magic. Now we can look at, where do I want to go? And Respectonomics is entirely dedicated to the proposition of a compass, and that is to guide us both as individuals and business, but to guide our lives to places that really do improve or enhance all that we are capable of being. And all I have to ask is one question: who am I?
I love it.
I rest my case.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you, Sarah.